The palace complex consists of 4 main courtyards and many smaller buildings, has hundreds of rooms and chambers, but only the most important are accessible today. Topkapi Palace is part of the historic area of Istanbul and deemed a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is early in the morning and the queues are beginning to form. It's already hot and the guides are about their business. I bought a museum pass in advance, which saved considerable time in the queues, and I could use it at other sites within a 5-day period. The Topkapi Palace is a large museum very close to the Hagia Sophia and just a few minutes walk from my hotel, the Sultanate Palace. Construction began in 1459, ordered by Mehmet the Conqueror 6 years after the conquest of Constantinople. Originally named the New Palace, it was given the name Topkapi, meaning Cannon Gate, in the 19th century. Following the end of the Ottoman Empire in 1923, Topkapi was transformed into a museum. The Gate of Felicity, a monumental gate and entrance into the inner court and private residential areas. The Sultan used this gate, which symbolised his might and represents the presence of the Sultan in the palace. The gate was under the control of the chief eunuch of the Sultan's harem. The funerals of the sultans were conducted in front of this gate. The complex was expanded over centuries with major renovations after the 1509 earthquake and the 1665 fire. Inside the inner court, some renovation work is taking place. The museum collection includes Ottoman clothing, velvet curtains, weapons, armour, miniatures, religious relics and manuscripts. This illumination is the Topkapi manuscript, believed to date to early to mid 8th century and contains more than 99% of the text of the Quran. Leaving the third courtyard, you can take your first views of the Bosphorus, and the artistic diagrams and directions help you to locate the various small buildings in this part of the Topkapi Palace. In the distance, across the Bosphorus, is Asia, whilst this side is Europe. Here you will get lots of photo opportunities with the Bosphorus Bridge in the background. The Terrace kiosk, erroneously known as Mustafa Pasha kiosk, is the only wooden building in the innermost part of the palace. From the kiosk, the Sultan would watch sporting events in the garden. The Yerevan kiosk is also known as the Revan kiosk. This is the interior of the Revan kiosk with mother of pearl panels and the usual blue and white tiles found in most of the rooms in the palace. The Yerevan kiosk served as a religious retreat of 40 days, just a small pavilion with a central dome and 3 apses for sofas and textiles, and to the right of the fountain is the Baghdad Pavilion, used as a library. The gilded Iftar Pavilion offers a view on the Golden Horn and is a magnet for tourists making the most of a photo opportunity. Its ridged cradle vault with the gilded roof was a first in Ottoman architecture, with echoes of China and India. The Sultan is reported to have had the custom to break his fast under this bower during the fasting month of Ramadan after sunset. The Baghdad kiosk closely resembles the Yerevan kiosk. The interior is an example of an ideal Ottoman room. The blue and white tiles on the walls are copies of the tiles in the circumcision room right across the terrace. On the right side of the entrance is a fireplace with a gilded hood. In the middle of the room, under a magnificent domed roof, is a silver mangle, or charcoal stove, a present of King Louis XIV of France. In 1640, Sultan Ibrahim added a summer kiosk dedicated to the circumcision of young princes. The room itself is symmetrically portioned and relatively spacious for the palace. The windows contain stained glass panels. The walls are covered in blue and white tiles. The most important of these were influenced by Far Eastern ceramics dating 1529. Seen from above, the palace grounds are divided into 4 main courtyards and the harem, the latter being the most inaccessible. Unfortunately, it was closed on this day, so I stopped to watch one of the guides at work. A short walk from the Topkapi Palace and through a separate entrance is Galeni Park, which used to be the exterior yard of Topkapi Palace during the Ottoman period. It was landscaped and transformed into a park in 1912 and became public.